There, we are up. Well, welcome to our first live stream on YouTube. I'm Sven Ryla, and this is...
Mike Agrenis Kushner.
Wow, that's a long name there.
Ain't it?
Anyways, we're here to get into some Kubernetes auto scaling. Mike here is the team lead, I guess, for the devs that own the container, though, and you're also the senior architect. Yeah, of course.
Or one
of course.
Yeah.
But you own the container, so it was really cool to be able to get you on here and go through the work that your group team has been doing with the Helm chart that we have for enterprise like this, and adding the auto scaling in.
Yeah.
And playing around with that and making it fun to test out and use.
And it's really awesome to see the stuff we're doing, go into, scaled up into, basically into prod.
Yes.
That's super cool.
Okay, well, let's hop in and just switch over to the terminal here, which we like to do in a lot of the videos that I have fun with, and we'll kind of jump right in. Let's take a look at what we have in this namespace here. So we can see here that we have EJBCA running already with a pod MariaDB. This kind of takes off from where we were at with some of the other tutorials we did for community, where we had deployed the MariaDB with the Helm chart and had cleaned out actually all the micro-K8s to redeploy, and then deploying EJBCA again with the Helm chart. But now this is actually deployed with the enterprise Helm chart. And we can take a look at that as well real quick. So we go to the Vim. And the big one in this is we've got the limits now in here and the auto scaling set up. We've got it set low for the limits to just do one CPU. That way we can trigger the auto scaling when we use the Client Toolbox to stress test with the web service.
Oh yeah, I mean, auto scaling is a game changer.
Yeah, it definitely takes PKI to the next level. I mean, when I got into this 17 years ago, it was we were still on servers. We hadn't had VMs yet. That was coming. VMs was kind of fun, and now you can actually do all this through containers.
Yeah, the only way of adding more throughput was add more nodes.
Yeah, and now you can auto do that, which makes PKI even more fun. So we're doing some pretty vanilla settings here with the auto scaling. Obviously, you can play around with these to your leisure and go with what works for you in your environment. The other thing we're kind of doing in this that's more fun is doing the TLS termination in the pod. So as we scroll down through our values, we have the Nginx section in here. And where is it? Down in here. So this means where you're going to use a load balancer for the connections coming in that will then go directly to the EJBCA pod with Nginx running in there and TLS terminate on Nginx. So there's no ingress in this, which is fun. So we've got that. There's also HTTPD that has been added in now too as another option, so that can be played with as well. So that's our values, which is deployed. And then the other side of that is we've got our other shell open here. We've got the Client Toolbox. We've just got a P12 from this CA, and we're going to leverage this to stress test to trigger the auto scaling. And then I guess we could take a look at the HPA real quick before we go into that. So let's grab a command to describe that. And we can see from the Helm that we're got the 1 of 5. And everything is ready to go. So we'll hop over to here. The first thing we have to do with the terminal is actually do a Java option output, because we're using elliptic curve CA. And to test with elliptic curve, we need to set some Java options. So we've got the algorithm to elliptic curve, our size of the P256, and then just the subject DN to be just common name equals username. So we export that. And then we run our stress test with this command here. So we're calling the Client Toolbox, the EJBCA web service, CLI, stress. I've got an ephemeral CA, and we're using the device client authentication ephemeral cert profile, or actually that's the end entity profile for this one. This is our cert profile for just a 1-day ephemeral cert. And from there, we can just kick that guy off. And he'll go. And then we've already got tests. We don't want to see any failures, so this is good. And now we're getting, 60, 64 certs a second that we're issuing. And now if we go take a look at the scale over here again, this will end up jumping now. So it already says, oh, we need to deploy another one. So if we list what's in our namespace again, we can see the second one's already started deploying.
Oh, that is awesome.
And then we can start looking at logs. Let's grab 0 for the first one. So we just show that, the requests are coming in, as we can see. So lots of requests. But if we go to the next one, we can see it's still booting up. And once it gets inbound connectivity set up, then it will be able to start serving requests. And there you go. Now that's serving requests.
And just like that, you have another node up and running.
Yeah. And what we should see now over here is our throughput starts going up as well as these go. I guess obvious statement would be if you assign more CPU and memory, you could have a lot higher throughput, but for testing purposes, we constrained it to actually get it to auto scale.
Yeah, no, as I said, like this is in PKI applications, this is totally game changer. Because I mean, revocations, when they come, tend to come a lot at once. Something bad has happened, and you need to be agile, and you have to start revoking and reissuing. And that's where you're going to get a spike. And that's not when you want your system to go down.
So let's check our HPA again. And now it's up to 4. So if we do a list on our namespace again, so 2's coming, or the third one since it starts at 0. Once that goes, then the next one will actually kick off. But we can look at the logs to see how far 2 is. So then in the next 10, 15 seconds, this should be ready to go. And then we can check the other pod for a second where that's at. So we're up to 135 a second. And once this guy comes in, we should start seeing, there we go. He's live. And then we'll see the throughput, yep, increase now, 146. And if we look at that guy, so number 4 is already going. And so once that starts, we'll see the throughput go up again. So we can follow 3. And there we go, that guy's live. Now we're up to 167, so we can see the count even going to handle the load as it goes up.
Yeah.
It's a good sign. And then the last one should be deploying now for 4. Yes. So now we've got 5. And you notice the name pod, so we do have a stateful set now with the enterprise Helm chart, which is a big one that I probably should have mentioned a few minutes ago. So it definitely makes it really nice to be able to get the names of the containers really quick, or the pods, to be able to query logs on those guys. So he's coming up. he's still going. We can take a peek over here. So now we're up to 193. Okay. And then getting inbound connectivity. And he's serving traffic now as well. And if we look at our HPA, we're fully booked. 5 of the 5 desired. And now our throughput's over 200.
Oh.
So we've doubled capacity, over doubled a little bit. Because we were 60 around there first.
That's beautiful. It will scale down automatically when the load decreases?
Yes, so now let's do a control C over here to stop the stress test. And we'll see that these will start powering down. Give it a second to clear the screen. We can just take a look at our pod guy. And this guy will end up saying, oh, you know what? We're no longer at the CPU request max that we needed. Let's start tearing some of these guys down.
Yeah, so if you're running this on AVS or Azure, that means that as soon as you don't need it anymore, your running costs.
Well, I mean, they're on an AKS at that point, right? So
yeah,
probably already paying for it.
True. But you're at least not paying for cycles you're not using.
And so this is where the behavior can be fun to change too, that you can tweak that on how long it takes to come down, to scale down. I don't remember actually how long this takes, because I tested this all locally last time and it was kind of slow, but now I got a dedicated laptop that we're running a Kubernetes micro K8s on to test on.
Oh yeah, if you're running this on a proper server or on the cloud, the startup times will be much quicker.
So it might take, I think it might take up to 5 minutes. Oh, well, actually no, that's just the old one. Guess we could check the questions queue. Do we have any questions at all from anybody?
Nope, nothing so far from what I see.
So it's still going. There, now we got too many replicas.
Great.
So now it should start going down.
There we go, spinning down. Awesome.
So we should start seeing these go to status to terminated.
Yeah. It is super cool seeing this in action.
Actually goes. I guess that's fun, and that's why when we do the YouTube tutorials, it's nice to be able to edit those quickly and scale through all the weight versus on the live stream. You're
Yeah, I was just
Singing.
thinking. Other people they like streaming, like gaming or doing art. We stream logs. We stream logs. That's PKI life.
Let's see. They're still going. Yeah, I guess I should have played with that a little bit more to
Mm.
make it go a bit quicker, huh?
Yeah.
And I guess anybody that does watch this, if you got some settings that you like running with this, feel free to share them in the comments.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, or post something on GitHub or Docker Hub.
Yeah. Actually, in the GitHub, the EJBCA conversations over there.
Yeah, that community is great. It's
There we go. Now they started terminating.
epic.
Now they'll go down.
Cool.
So it probably was a good 5-minute delay there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the GitHub community is great. It's fun seeing. I mean, I work mostly against, and we work mostly against people doing PKI on an enterprise setting. It's really fun seeing, well, hobbyists doing PKI as well.
There we go. So now the next one's terminating down. So 4 is gone. We're
Yeah.
terminating 3 now. And then we'll see these all terminate back down to 1. Two. Still at 2 or 3. And down to the last one. And this guy, yeah, so now it sees that they're failing and those are going down. They're at that point, but it's down. So he should be gone. And then now we're back to with where we started.
Awesome. That is beautiful.
So that is the tutorial of doing some auto scaling on a YouTube live stream.
Mhm.
Hopefully you found this fun and interesting. And if you got other ideas of what you'd like to see on a live stream, let us know. Drop us a comment, shoot us an email, GitHub discussion. Happy to hear any feedback from you guys, and